Good morning, students, and welcome to online learning. This is for Module 4, and the subject code is E31204, Listening and Speaking. In today's class, we will be learning about visions of the future. What can you see in the photo? Start thinking. Will we live in cities like these in the future? How will schools be different? What will we do in our free time? In vocabulary, we will be learning about computer words, technology verbs plus prepositions, suffixes, full and less. The language focus will be on will, won't, may and might, and the first conditional. In the content, we will be reading a magazine article, Computers, Past, Present, and Future, exploring the use of suffixes, giving your opinion about predictions, understanding the use of the first conditional, and speaking, asking for and giving instructions, and then a review. With the aims of this lesson, I can talk about computers and technology. I can make predictions about the future. I can understand information about what the future will be like. I can talk about what will happen if I do something. I can ask for and give instructions. Vocabulary. Computer words. Match the pictures with the words in the box. Then listen, check, and repeat.
A. Laptop. B.
Keyboard.
C. Memory stick. D.
Tablet.
E. Mouse. F.
Printer.
G. Touchscreen. H.
Smartphone.
I. Microchip.
Now let's move on to exercise 2. Choose the correct words. We can use our tablet for this. Number 1. You can write an email with a keyboard. Number 2. You can save your work on a memory stick. Number 3. Has usually got a touch screen. A tablet has usually got a touch screen. Number 4. You can carry a laptop. You can carry a smartphone easily in one hand. Number 5. A touchscreen computer doesn't need a mouse. People often take their laptop on holiday. Let's check our answers. Well done. Now let's just read the sentences before we go on. Number 1. You can write an email with a keyboard. You can save your work on a memory stick. Number 3. A tablet has usually got a touch screen. Number 4. You can carry a smartphone easily in one hand. Number 5. A touchscreen computer doesn't need a mouse. Number 6. People often take their laptop on holiday. Let's look at exercise 3, your turn. Write answers to the questions. Number 1. How often do you use a computer? What do you use it for? Number 2. Which things in exercise 1 do you use at home? What do you use them for? That is all the objects that we used in the vocabulary, like the tablet, the keyboard, the smartphone, the printer, etc. Number 3. Which things in exercise 1 do you use at school? What do you use them for? So you have to think about in this exercise of all the gadgets that you use at home and at school, and what you use them for. So exercise 3 and 4. Exercise 3 has to be completed by you so that when you come back to school, we can then share our answers with our partners and ask and answer questions. Reading a magazine article. Computers, past, present, and future. Now let's move on to a reading about computers. Past, present, and future.
Listen to the article.
Computers, past, present, and future. 65 years ago, scientists called the first computer Baby. But it was huge. It needed a whole room to itself. A team of people wrote 3 maths problems and then waited 52 minutes for Baby to find the answer to just one of them. At the time, this was amazing. Computers are now both much smaller, don't forget your smartphone is a mini computer, and also more powerful. There is more power in a smartphone than in all the computers on Apollo 11, the first spacecraft on the moon. What's more, with new touchscreen technology, soon we won't need extra things like a keyboard or a mouse. So how will computers change in the future? A computer's brain is in its chip. And in the future, scientists will be able to save much more information on this. So computers will be smaller and even more powerful, and they may even think like humans. In the future, we may not need to tell computers what to do, because they might decide for themselves.
Fact. Need a new hip, knee or face? Doctors can now use 3D printers to make some parts of the body.
Read the text again. Choose the correct answers. The first computer was very big. Number 2. Baby found the answers to 3 math problems, an exam question, 1 maths problem. 1 maths problem in 52 minutes. So Baby, the name of the first computer, found the answer to 1 maths problem in 52 minutes. Number 3. The computers in Apollo 11 were more powerful than a smartphone, less powerful than a smartphone, as powerful as a smartphone. And the answer, I think, is B. The computers in Apollo 11 were less powerful than a smartphone. Number 4. In the next few years, we won't need keyboards, smartphones, touchscreens. Well, I think the answer is what we won't need is our keyboards, since we already have smartphones and touchscreens and they seem to be very good. Well done. Let's just read our sentences once more. Number 1. The first computer was very big. Number 2. Baby found the answer to 1 math problem in 52 minutes. Number 3. The computers on Apollo 11 were less powerful than a smartphone. And number 4. In the next few years, we won't need keyboards. Let's move on. Let's move on to exercise 4. So, let's do exercise 4. Explore suffixes, full and less. Look at the article again. What do we add to the noun power to make an adjective? What do you think we add to make the negative form? Complete the sentences with the correct adjective form of the noun in brackets. It will end in full or less. Number 1. Jennifer Lawrence is a very good actor and she's beautiful. From the parenthesis, beauty, beautiful. So adding full at the end of beauty. Number 2. We never use that old computer. It's slow and useless. So useless makes it not good, and full to make something good or better, and less to make it negative. Number 3. I love my touchscreen laptop. It's wonder. To make it better, so wonderful. Number 4. I fell over and hurt my knee yesterday. It's very, we have to use the word pain, and we get painful. To make it positive, it's more painful, so it's very painful. Number 5. My brother makes a lot of mistakes. He's very He's very careless. To make it bad, careless. Number 6. I think I'll pass the test. I'm hope. So it will be, it's getting better, so it's positive. hopeful. If I write hopeless here, it means that it was very bad. I didn't do well. Let's check our answers. Well done. Now let's just read through, and could you repeat the sentences after me, please? Number 1. Jennifer Lawrence is a very good actor, and she's beautiful. Number 2. We never use that old computer. It's slow and useless. Number 3. I love my touchscreen laptop. It's wonderful. Number 4. I fell over and hurt my knee yesterday. It's very painful now. Number 5. My brother makes a lot of mistakes. He's very careless. And number 6. I think I'll pass the test. I'm hopeful. Okay, let's move on. Exercise 6 is again your turn. Write down 3 things you'd like your computer to do in the future. Example, I'd like my computer to clean my room. Isn't that fascinating? Then we don't have to do much work. It'll make work easier for us. In exercise 7, compare your list from exercise 6, working with a partner. Who has the best idea? So this we can do when we come back to school, so we can exchange what we've written, the ideas that we've written. So who can come up with the best idea? Language focus: will, won't, may, might, and first conditional. Now we move on to language focus 1. The use of will, won't, may, and might. Let's use the tablet for this. Complete the examples from the text. Computers. Will be smaller. Next. They even think like humans. Here we can use the word may because it's like a prediction. A prediction means something that you foresee, or it's like a forecast, like you know what is going to happen next. So, but you're not sure, but you're certain that it will take place. So we use the word may as a prediction. They decide for themselves. They might. So might is the same as the word may as a prediction. Now we have to use something negative. We need extra things like a keyboard. So will and won't to mean negative. Next, we need to tell computers what to do. We, and the same form of may, but negative. We may not. We may not need to tell computers what to do. And the other form, we might not need a mouse. Okay, let's go on to the next. How computers change in the future? How will computers change in the future? So these are the questions that we ask ourselves about the future. How will computers change in the future? Will computers be more powerful? Let's check our answers. Well done. Now let's just read our sentences together. Computers will be smaller. They may even think like humans. They might decide for themselves. We won't need extra things like a keyboard. We may not need to tell computers what to do. We might not need a mouse. And some questions about the future. How will computers change in the future? Will computers be more powerful? Okay, let's move on. Grammar reference. Will, the use of will and won't. These are some examples how we construct the sentences. Example, I will work, you will work, he will work, she will work, and so on. And the negative form, it won't work, we won't work, or they won't work. And some questions. Will I go? Will you go? Will he go? Will she go? Will it go? Will we go? Will they go? And some answers in the positive. Yes, I will. Yes, you will. Yes, he will. Yes, she will. And some negative answers. No, it won't. No, we won't. Or no, they won't. We use will and won't to make predictions about the future. Prediction simply means to foresee or to think forward. It's like a forecast, your guess after a lot of thought. So we use will and won't to make predictions about the future. Example, computers will control our lives in the future. In informal English, we can use the contraction 'LL, ill. So we don't use ill in short answers. Example, I'll go to university. Will you go to university in the UK? Yes, I will. You cannot write yes, I'll. Because if you write yes, I'll, then you have to continue. For example, yes, I'll go to university. But if it's a very short answer, then you just say, yes, I will. Okay, so we use will. We use an infinitive without to after will and won't. So we don't need to use the word to. Example, they will do their homework on a tablet. We don't use they will to do their homework. So to is not to be used. If you use to, then the sentence becomes wrong. The construction of the sentence is not correct. Okay, let's move on to the next. As an example, complete the sentences with will or won't and the verb in brackets. The use of will or won't, and the verb in bracket. So the verb in bracket are these words: live, be, not buy, study, not use, and need. So, where? So we have to use will and won't. So where will you live in the future? Where will you live in the future? Computers will be faster. Number 3, we, negative form, won't. We won't buy big phones in the future. Number 4, this is a question, so a question word will be will. Will is also a question word. Will Ella study computer science? Number 5, most people, keyboards in a few years. Most people won't use. Most people won't use keyboards in a few years. And number 6, you, Wi-Fi in your new home. You will need Wi-Fi in your new home. Let's check our answers. Well done. Now let's just read the sentences of how we use will for something positive and how we use them and how we use the word will in questions. We can't use the word won't in a question. Won't is the negative form, so it normally appears in the answer. Number 1, where will you live in the future? Number 2, computers will be faster in 5 years. Number 3, we won't buy big phones in the future. Number 4, will Ella study computer science? Number 5, most people won't use keyboards in a few years. And number 6, you will need Wi-Fi in your new home. Okay, let's move on. To the use of may and might. Maybe I can enlarge this so it's more visible. May and might. So for something positive, I may work, I might work. You may work, you might work. He may work, he might work. She may work, she might work. So this is a prediction of something positive, that the person will work. The negative form of it would be it may not work. So when we are talking about some idea or some type of using a new gadget, it may not work. Okay. If we are talking about us, we may not work, meaning we might decide not to go to work because of something that is disrupting work. Like in the situation now, with the COVID situation, we may not work. Better to stay at home. Or we might not work. They may not work. They might not work. We can use may and might to form questions. For example, may I go? May you go? May he go? May she go? Or may it go? May I go? We use normally when we are asking for permission. May I go to the toilet, please? So may is and might we use when we are asking for permission. And similarly, may we go? May they go? And similarly, the use of might in the same construction of questions. Now let's go to the positive form. Yes, I may. Yes, I might, and so on. Yes, you may. Yes, you might. Yes, he may. Yes, he might. Yes, she may. Yes, she might. Yes, it may. Yes, it might. Yes, we may. Yes, we might. Yes, they may. Yes, they might. And in the negative form, when we are answering no. No, I may not. So we have to add not at the end to make it negative, to make the sentence negative. No, I may not. Or no, I might not. No, you may not. No, you might not. With he. No, he may not. No, he might not. With she. No, she may not. No, she might not. No, it may not. No, it might not. No, we may not. No, we might not. No, they may not. No, they might not. So we use may and might to say that it is possible, but not certain. Always remember, may and might is not something that is for sure. We are not sure about it, so we are not certain. Okay, so we use the word may and might when we are not certain. It could be yes or no. So may and might. That something will happen in the future. For example, it may rain later, or it might rain later. If you look at the sky and you find it's very gloomy and gray, and you think there's going to be rain, so you say, it may rain later. But it always doesn't rain when the situation is so. So we use the word may and might. So may and might is very good to predict the weather, because the weather is not certain. It looks like, but sometimes it doesn't rain, even though it looks like it's going to rain. Like will and won't, may and might don't change in the different persons, and we use an infinitive without to after them. So we don't use to. For example, my brother may study in Paris, or he might go to London. So when we are using may and might, we use may in the first part of the sentence and might in the second part. For example, we can't say my brother might study in Paris or he may go to London. We normally use it this way, where we use may in the first part of the sentence and might in the second part. So my brother may study in Paris or he might go to London. Choose the correct words. let's use the table for this. Choose the correct words. I'm sure I will or may watch the film. If you are sure, then you are certain. So we use the word will, not may. May is not sure. Number 2, my teacher gave us a lot of homework. That's certain. That certain means will. My teacher will give us a lot of homework. That's certain. So you're sure. So do you have teachers that will give you a lot of homework? Number 3. Here, we go to Prague or we go to Budapest. So we can sense something uncertain. So we may go to Prague or we might go to Budapest. We aren't sure. So the end makes it clear that we are not sure or not certain which we are going to choose. So we may go to Prague or we might go to Budapest. We aren't sure. Number 4, that exam was difficult. I'm sure I won't pass. You are sure. I'm sure. So the negative form of will is won't. I'm sure I won't pass. Number 5, I become a famous scientist. It's possible. It's possible clearly shows there's a 50-50 chance, or probably more of a positive chance. So we could use may because you're not certain. I may become a famous scientist. It's possible. And number 6, my friends won't or may. My friends may not go to the cinema. They aren't certain. Let's check our answers. Well done. All correct. Let's just read our sentences before we carry on. Please repeat after me. Number 1, I'm sure I will watch the film. Number 2, my teacher will give us a lot of homework. That's certain. Number 3, we may go to Prague or we might go to Budapest. We aren't sure. Number 4, that exam was difficult. I'm sure I won't pass. Number 5, I may become a famous scientist. It's possible. And number 6, my friends may not go to the cinema. They aren't certain. Okay, let's move on to the first conditional. The first conditional. In the first conditional, there are 2 parts. The action or situation, and then the result. A good example would be, if we buy this laptop, we'll get a free printer. This is very much used in advertising. If you buy 2, you'll get 1 free. Sometimes the result can be put before the action or situation. He'll use your email if you tell him the password. So we use the first conditional to talk about the future result of an action or situation. Example, if the tablet breaks, I will take it to the shop. There are two clause parts in conditional sentences. An if clause, so if, and a result clause. We use if plus subject plus the present simple to talk about the action or situation. We use the subject plus will and infinitive without to talk about the result. So we don't use to when we use this type of sentence. For example, if we pass all our exams, we will have a party. Exercise 3. Write sentences in the first conditional with the phrases in the box, the main clause and the result. I walk to school. I be late. The example number 1 is done for you. If I walk to school, I will be late. So if comes in the beginning of the sentence and will come in the result. Let's try number 2. If John buys a computer, notice we'll have to add an S to buy because John is one person. If John buys a computer, he won't read many books. So we have to use the negative. He won't read many books. Number 3. If you scroll down, you will see an amazing photo. Number 4. Mia and Sarah watch TV all evening. So if Mia and Sarah watch TV all evening, they won't finish their homework. So this is also negative. Number 5. If we turn down the music, we will hear the singer, or we will hear the singer. Number 6. If my parents get a new laptop, you will see an amazing photo. Let's move on to exercise 3. In 1900, an American engineer made these predictions about the world. Complete the sentences with will or won't and the verb in the box. The verbs are send, call, not wait, live, not cook, be, eat, and buy. So the first one is done for us. People will send photos to their friends all over the world. Number 2, Americans 5 centimeters taller. Americans will be 5 centimeters taller. A husband at work in Chicago, his wife at home in New York. I think the verb would be call. A husband at work in Chicago will call his wife at home in New York. Number 4, we our own meals. We them in the shops. Not cook. So we won't cook our own meals. We'll we'll buy them in shops. Number 5. Between 300 and 500 million people in the USA. Live, so people will live. Between 300 and 500 million people will live in the USA. Number 6. We, until summer, to eat tomatoes. We, them in the winter too. We have to use wait. We won't wait until summer to eat tomatoes. To be the negative form. Won't wait. We won't wait until summer to eat tomatoes. We will eat them in the winter too. Let's check our answers. Well done. Okay, let's just repeat the sentences before we go on. Number 1. People will send photos to their friends all over the world. Number 2. Americans will be 5 centimeters taller. Number 3. A husband at work in Chicago will call his wife at home in New York. Number 4. We won't cook our own meals. We'll buy them in shops. Number 5. Between 300 and 500 million people will live in the USA. And number 6. We won't wait until summer to eat tomatoes. We will eat them in the winter too. Let's go on. Let's move on to exercise 5. Write sentences about the year 2040 with will, won't, may, might, and use your opinion. Number 1. We have Wi-Fi connections in our clothes. So, we won't have Wi-Fi connections in our clothes. We'll have them on our heads. Cars need a human driver. So for number 2, we can write, cars won't need a human driver. We'll have computers to drive our cars. Number 3, people may live to be 120 years old. They'll have a long life. Number 4, robots will cook our meals. We won't have to spend time cooking our own meals because robots will do that for us. Number 5, there won't be pens and pencils. We will use maybe touch screens. We will use our mobiles to turn on everything. We won't have to physically move around, do things. Number 7, I won't work in an office. I will work at home. Like right now, because of the COVID situation, I am not working in an office. I'm working from home. Number 8, there won't be shops and town centers. We will actually probably order food and supplies using our smartphones. Let's move on to exercise 6, your turn. Normally your turn we would do in the classroom. Make predictions about your future with will, won't, may or might. Write sentences with the things in the box or use your own ideas. Your friends, your town, your studies, your job, your family, your house. Example: I'll go to university to study medicine, and then I might work as a doctor. So the example is about studies. So you can make your own sentences using your own ideas. And then when we come back to the classroom, we can compare our ideas with our partner. Work with a partner. Compare your sentences from exercise 6. Choose 3 best predictions and tell the class. Example: we'll have the same friends as now, but we may also make some new friends. Okay, so these are predictions. Speaking. Asking for and giving instructions. Watch the teenagers in the video. How important is their mobile to them? Write X, not important, tick, quite important, or a double tick if very or really important.
How important is your mobile phone to you?
I don't have my own phone, so it's not important to me at all. Hello?
My phone's quite important to me, but it's more important to my mom, so she can call me anytime she wants. Hi, Mom!
It's not really important to me. I usually leave it at home.
My phone's very important to me. I use it for the games and the apps, and I also watch my favorite TV programs on it.
Very important. My mom tells me to take it with me whenever I go out.
My phone is quite important to me. I use it to phone my mum and dad and to text my friends.
How important is your mobile phone to you?
I think now that you've seen the video, we will be able to answer the questions of the speakers that find mobile phones important or not. Speaker number 1 says a mobile phone is not important. What about speaker 2? Speaker 2 thinks that it is quite important. Speaker 3 thinks it is not really important. Speaker 4 says it is really very important. Speaker 5, very important. And speaker 6 says it is quite important. It was only speaker 1 and speaker 3 that say mobile phones are not important. Well, let's check our answers. Well done. This is exercise 3. Listen to Kira talking to her grandmother. What does a grandmother want to do?
Listen to the conversation.
Kira, can I borrow your phone to call Grandad?
Yeah, sure, but it's a smartphone.
Oh, how does it work? Where are the numbers?
Well,
It's got a touch screen. First, you need to press the round button at the bottom.
What? Like this?
Yes, that's it. Now, swipe the bottom of the screen to unlock the phone.
Right. How do I make a call?
You have to touch the contacts icon and then scroll down to Grandad's name.
Okay, here it is.
If you tap Grandad's number, it'll ring him.
I see. Thanks.
You're a fast learner.
Okay, now let's move on to exercise 4. Complete the conversation with the useful language. Then listen and check your answers. Useful language. First, you need to. You have to. How do I? Yes, that's it. Now, how does it work? Oh, here it is. I see. Thanks. And then, so here is the conversation and we have to fill up the blanks with the useful language. We can do this in the template. Complete the conversation. Grandma says, Kira, can I borrow your phone to call Grandad? Yeah, sure, but it's a smartphone. Grandma says, oh. We have to choose the fill in the blanks from here. Oh, how does it work? Where are the numbers? This is the best. Fill in the blank. Kira, well, it's got a touch screen. Press the round button at the bottom. I think this is the best option. Well, it's got a touch screen. First, you need to press the round button at the bottom. What? Like this? Swipe the bottom of the screen to unlock the phone. I think this is the best one. Yes, that's it. Now swipe the bottom of the screen to unlock the phone. Grandma says, right. Make a call. I think this would be the best question for Grandma. Right. How do I make a call? And then Kira answers, touch the contacts icon. And then touch the contacts icon. This one will go here. Kira will say, you have to touch the contacts icon and then scroll down to Granddad's name. And then Grandma says, okay, here it is. And then Kira replies, if you tap Granddad's number, it'll ring him. Grandma says, I see, thanks. You're a fast learner. Let's check our conversation. Well done. Okay, let's just read through. Kira, can I borrow your phone to call Grandad? Yeah, sure, but it's a smartphone. Oh, how does it work? Where are the numbers? Well, it's got a touch screen. First, you need to press the round button at the bottom. What? Like this? Yes, that's it. Now swipe the bottom of the screen to unlock the phone. Right. How do I make a call? You have to touch the contacts icon and then scroll down to Granddad's name. Oh, here it is. If you tap Granddad's number, it will ring him. I see. Thanks. You're a fast learner. So that is a conversation about Kiara helping her grandma use a smartphone. In exercise 5, work with a partner, practice the conversation in exercise 4. So 2 students can get together. One can be grandma and one can be Kiara and practice a conversation. Exercise 6. Work with a partner, plan instructions for someone who can't use a smartphone. Choose one of the ideas below and the useful language from exercise 4. That is the conversation exercise. We can use phrases like send a text, listen to music, check emails, surf the internet, play a game. So these are some examples where you work with a partner. This is Kiara and her grandma. Give instructions to your new partner. Can I borrow your phone to send a text? Yes, of course, but it's a smartphone. Oh, how does it work? So, students are very good with smartphones, but the older generation are not really comfortable. So we need to explain to them, giving them instructions. So I think students, you can practice this with your grandparents at home who don't actually use a smartphone, and you show them how to use a smartphone. Review. Visions of the future. Let's do some exercises with vocabulary. Use the pictures to find 9 computer words in the word search. So these are the pictures. Memory stick. Smartphone. Tablet. Microchip. Let's go down. Mouse. Laptop. Printer. How many have we got? 3 and 3, 6, 7. 2 more. Touch screen. And keyboard. I think we have completed all. So 3 and 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's check. Well done. Okay, so let's go through them again. Number 1 will be the keyboard. Number 2 is the memory stick, also called a flash drive. Number 3, a laptop. Number 4, a tablet. Number 5, a printer. Number 6, a mouse. Number 7, a touch screen. We normally have them at the malls, a touch screen to get information about finding different shops. Number 8, a microchip. And number 9, a smartphone. Let's move on to the next exercise, exercise 2. Complete the sentences with the words from exercise 1. Number 1 has been done for us. I lost my memory stick with our school project on it, but later I found it in my jeans pocket. Oh, this happens quite often. Number 2, it's easier to write emails with a than a touch screen. It's easy to write emails with using a keyboard. Number 3, now most phones have a without buttons. You put your finger on the icons instead. This will be correct. Touch screen. Number 4, my mom hasn't got a because she only uses a phone to make calls. So my mom hasn't got a smartphone because she only uses a phone to make calls. Number 5, I like my because the touchscreen is bigger than on a smartphone. I like my tablet because the touchscreen is bigger than on a smartphone. Number 6, can scan things and make photocopies too. It's amazing. Our printer. So normally a printer comes with a scanning device too. Number 7, I take my on holidays because my computer is too heavy and I haven't got a tablet. I take my laptop on holiday because my computer is too heavy and I haven't got a tablet. Number 8, you don't need a with a tablet. You don't need a mouse with a tablet. And number 9, without a microchip, computers, laptops, and tablets don't work. Let's check our answers. Well done. I'm sure all the students will get these correct. Now let's practice reading the sentences. Kindly repeat after me. Number 1. I lost my memory stick with our school project on it, but later I found it in my jeans pocket. Number 2. It's easier to write emails with a keyboard than on a touch screen. Number 3. Now most phones have a touch screen without buttons. You put your finger on the icons instead. Number 4. My mom hasn't got a smartphone because she only uses a phone to make calls. Number 5. I like my tablet because the touchscreen is bigger than on a smartphone. Number 6. Our printer can scan things and make photocopies too. It's amazing. Number 7. I take my laptop on holiday because my computer is too heavy and I haven't got a tablet. Number 8. You don't need a mouse with a tablet. And number 9. Without a microchip, computers, laptops, and tablets don't work. Students, now that we have completed our lesson for today, please go to Google Classroom to complete the assignment. Thank you.